The inner development goals show what inner shifts or human growth needs to happen in order for us to increase our chances of reaching the Sustainable Development Goals collectively.
The inner development goals covers 23 skills that are divided into 5 categories. Skills such as inner compass, openness and learning mindset, self-awareness, presence, sense-making, connectedness, humility, co-creation skills, trust, and perseverance.
What I see as the basic human challenge, when we talk about mind shift, when we talk about growth that matters, I think the basic human challenge is this. It is difficult to learn if you already know.
We see a lot of leadership failure, leaders being out of touch with reality. So in other words, it's a lack of listening. So listening, I believe, is not just an important one, it's the most important and most underrated leadership skill today.
Obviously, being flexible, being able to be agile, being able to listen, and be able to be very inclusive in terms of how you lead people. I think those are some of the things that I've learned over the time.
We are built to grow. It is our destiny to grow. A caterpillar is not supposed to die as a caterpillar. Its destiny is to grow wings and fly.
We need to sort of focus more inwards, and what is my responsibility in that? What can I contribute to a development that is more sustainable? But in order to be able to reach those sustainability goals, we need to also be able to take the right decisions to get there.
And I think where we are today, perhaps, is we've hit a limit to purely technocratic external solutions to solve global problems. Mental health and well-being is supported by our inner capacities for spirituality and faith, where education is fundamentally oriented towards meaning and purpose in a changing world, rather than mere content delivery for students.
Being human has many dimensions, and that the dimension that we have been very good at exploring during the last couple of 100 years has been the external world, but that we have come to a point where the outside perspective has to be complemented by an inside perspective.
Teaching a course like Global Challenges at Stockholm School of Economics, I realize more and more that we cannot reach the sustainability goals if we do not work with our inner development. This does not apply only to universities. This applies to all sectors, all ages.
What we really need is a deliberately developmental society. And depending on how severe you think the situation is, maybe we need a deliberately developmental world. And right now we're not even talking about at scale the inner dimensions and how we need to change. Because at the core, we are the problem. The way that we're acting in the world and the way that we are solving problems is the problem.
I used to think the top environmental problems were biodiversity loss, ecosystem collapse, and climate change. I thought that with 30 years of good science, we could address those problems. But I was wrong. The top environmental problems are selfishness, greed, and apathy. And to deal with those, we need a spiritual and cultural transformation.
Any sustainable development goal, that's essentially our generation's big, ambitious vision for the world. In our experience, when we work with individuals, both within and outside Oxford, people are more likely to take action when these inspiring visions are brought down to their level.
We bring now the inner development goals with us as a great source of inspiration when we strengthen and revise our competence development roadmaps and make sure that the inner development goals are integrated into this.
And as Einstein said, we are never going to be able to solve our problems with the same order of consciousness that created these problems. So as a species, we need more and more of us to grow and develop so that we have actually a bigger purchase on, a bigger perspective on, a bigger ability to solve the biggest, most dangerous kinds of challenges that we face.
To make the world work better requires highly specialized skills. Very useful, but quite high-level skills. And so what we want to say to people is, yes, it's great that you want to help make the world work better, but you have to get into training.